What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Talking Crazy on the corner of Crazy and Cowboys, fellas, on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Went on a 2-mile bike ride today. My goodness, my butt's sore and my legs feel like they weigh 1,000 pounds. Brando, the best moderator in the game, in the building. What's up, Brando? Hope everybody's doing well. I think today's going to get pretty crazy. I think today just might get a little crazy. Daniel in the building. What's up, Daniel? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really think that that we can get crazy today on Talking Crazy. Let me see if I can get the link. Danny, click the link, brother, if you want to come in. Alan, click the link's pinned, Danny. The link's pinned. Let's see. Alan, what's up, Alan? What's up? I read the team met with Smith's agent at the combine yesterday, and the understanding is both sides intend to move on to different directions. Woohoo! Let's talk crazy. The front office Cowboys, yeah, the crazy ass front office Cowboys. That's exactly what it is. Danny, click the link, brother, if you want to come in. It should be pinned right there. Let's see, share stream, copy, and let's see. Tyron Smith is gone. Yeah. This team has no idea what direction they're going. Eshawn in the building. What's up? Wish I could join at work. Hopefully next week. We just keep kicking the can down the road with you, Eshawn. Talking crazy right here. Danny Savage about to bring you some flavor of the day with some draft content, fellas. He's about to come in here and knock it out. Welcome to Talking Crazy, Danny.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it so much from the bottom of my heart.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. This is what it's about. Talking Crazies. Welcome to any Cowboy fan that wants to come in here and talk. You know, a lot of big content creators, you know, if you call into their show or, you know, you go join their show, if you say something, you know, out of pocket, they're going to clip it, post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram, and blast you for it. Not on Talking Crazy. If you got an opinion, if you got a thought, if you got any scenario in your brain, it is more than welcome right here on Talking Crazy every Saturday night with Cowboys Corner.
Listen, I appreciate it. I'm a draft fanatic. I've been doing it 35 years, and it's like the night before the draft is like Christmas for me. I don't sleep. It's like just something I've been doing since I was a kid. It's crazy. It's just, you know, I watch college football just 24/7. You know, that's what I do. You're gonna laugh. I'm probably 2,000 mock drafts deep already.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm probably up to 300 players. But you tell me whatever topic you want to roll with, and I'm game.
Let's talk about the combine. Let's talk about the combine. Then we'll get into the craziness of this front office, and
okay.
we'll dissect. We'll read between the lines with all that other stuff. But let's talk about the combine. Since you're here, since you're refreshed, since you're rejuvenated, and you're talking on Cowboys Corner for the first time, welcome. Who has impressed you so far? It's been defensive tackles, linebackers, quarterbacks, a little wide receivers. Who has impressed you so far?
Well, when I say impressed, I'm just going to go by a lot of what I think Dallas needs.
Okay.
I think Sweat from Texas, a kid who at the combine weighed in at 366 pounds, and ran a 5.2 40. It's pretty easy to say he played at about 380 in Texas this past college year for him to show up at 366. So that's super impressive in my mind. The kid Brandon Fisk out of Florida State, super explosive, has the size. Very, he impressed me a lot. He impressed me during the season, and maybe since Dan Quinn is no longer on the team, he has a shot to be drafted by Dallas. But it also bothers me, in the last 3 drafts, we've spent 7 defensive tackles. We've spent draft capital on draft picks and trading for 7 defensive tackles, yet our run defense is horrendous. I'm glad Dan Quinn is gone. Linebackers, I like Gray from North Carolina. He improved. I think the linebacker class in general, from top to bottom, improved a lot. I think a lot of people weren't expecting a lot from the linebackers class, and a lot of people showed up. I'm huge on Aaron Casey from Indiana, first team All Big Ten. He ran a slow 40. He ran a 4.8, but he plays much, much faster than than the 40 he ran. All you have to do is watch the Indiana-Michigan game, and that's it. Because Michigan has the best offensive line in college football, and this kid just made every single tackle. And his lateral speed is huge. Running backs, late. I mean, I think listen. Trey Benson is my running back number one, and he blew away everybody today with his speed. Do I think he's going to be there at 57? No, I don't.
Right.
You got the kid Braylon Allen from Wisconsin. That's the classic. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. The kid is 6'2", 245. Granted, he's young. He's only 20. So he can get bigger, but he plays 5'10", 200. Frank Gore Jr. runs harder than him. I love Rashawn Ali from Marshall. You know what I'm trying to say? But who I do love, my guy, is Audric Estime from Notre Dame. He ran what he was expected. I call him baby Jerome Bettis. He ran a 4.7 today. But he's a dude that puts his head straight down. He'll run into the wall. But you also see him hurdling people out in the open. You know what I'm trying to say? So, I mean, you draft a guy like him, and I've been saying it for the last 6 months. This is the year of the big running back. Arkansas's Rocket Sanders, he stayed in school. If he would have came out, we would have had another 6'2", 240-pound guy out in this draft. So it was the year of the big back. I like Blake Corum, but he's the king of the 3-yard touchdowns. And he got caught a lot from behind this year. He's also undersized. That's what scares me, too, about Frank Gore, just because if we got Webster in the backfield, Deuce Vaughn, do we really want two undersized running backs in our running back room?
That's a recipe for disaster, Danny Savage.
In the perfect, I'm psyched for tomorrow because we need O-line. In my opinion, we got to double dip. In my opinion, we got to go left tackle. We got to go center. Mm-hmm. And what they're saying now, Tyron's gone, but he could have been gone in training camp. The guy gets hurt on airplane trips. The guy's replacement should have been on the team the last 3 years. So, but what Dallas does always, and it bothers me, now the other 31 teams know we're going O-line at 24. So what is your opinion? We're going to go left tackle, or do you think we're going to throw Tyron Smith for left tackle?
I'm looking at Matt Walesko. I'm looking at let's dissect who's on the roster right now. And when we look at who's on the roster right now, in my brain, do we have to go pick left tackle at number 24, right? We got Matt Walesko, shoulder injuries, right? And hasn't really played much. Josh Ball, the bust of bust. You look at Awesome Richards, didn't get the opportunity, 3rd round pick. Can he replace Tyron Smith? Now, I'm not talking about replace him to the level of that. Can he be better than Chaz Green? Can he be better than Chuma Adoga? Right? Awesome Richards going into an NFL offseason, because last year he was a rookie. I look at Awesome Richards, I'm like, okay, this could possibly be the guy to replace Tyron Smith. So you look at the left tackles. My pet cat is Amarius Mims. All right, that's one of my pet cats in this draft, along with Sweat out of Texas. During the first report, I talked about Sweat right off the bat. Now, when you're sitting there as a Dallas Cowboys and you're sitting at 24, Amarius Mims staring you in the face, Jackson Powers Johnson, is he staring you in the face? That's where, where can we go with that? Because we look at Hoffman at that center position. Can he take over the center position? Or Could TJ Bass be your guard and Tyler Smith kick out to left tackle? So there's so many scenarios that they can look at, Danny, and say, okay, are we reaching to get left tackle in the draft?
Listen, I agree with you 100%. What scares me about Austin Richards is when 2 undrafted free agents play over him, that's a bad sign to me. You had Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass. They played over Richards, who was, I believe, I could be wrong, I think he was a 5th-round pick, Austin Richards. So that just scares me a little bit.
He
was a good pass blocker at North Carolina. His run blocking left a lot for desired. I love Mims out of Georgia.
Oh, he is. I'm thinking Overshown was drafted third. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I love Mims out of Georgia. He's a freak. He could put on 30 pounds and still look lean. Do I think he'll be on the board at 24? No. What scares me is there's also a possibility Powers from Oregon, Zach Frazier from West Virginia, and Graham Barton from Duke, left tackle and center flex. There's a possibility all 3 of them are gone at 24 because Pittsburgh, Miami, and Philadelphia all need centers. So, and it blows my mind every year because we make our needs so obvious every draft. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I don't see a team throwing $15-20 million at Tyron. I really don't. Unless, what's he going to do? Go to the Jets and play 3 games with Aaron Rodgers? You know what I'm trying to say? One of my Pats is Patrick Paul from Houston, left tackle. He's not getting a lot of love. We'll see tomorrow, but all you got to look at is he's a dancing bear. He's a bigger Charles Cross at Mississippi State. And last year, there was 500 passing snaps, 0 sacks allowed. 0 sacks. He has arms down to his feet. He needs to put on about 15-20 pounds. If you can grab him in round 2, if I can grab Barton in round 1, listen, I think it might sound a little crazy. I think we need to double dip a line. We need to double dip running back, and we need to double dip linebacker. And let's get we can get a day 3, run stopper like late. You know what I'm trying to say? Or let's see. It's all going to depend this season, in my opinion. If we don't go super heavy in free agency, it's a lame duck season. And like with the Tyron, they're saying not Tyron coming back, we could see a lot more. I think if you look deeper, maybe there's going to be a lot more changes coming with the Dak situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me personally, I like Dak as a person. He can't win the big game. I'm sorry, he can't. So I personally, I just can't justify giving him $300 million. I just can't. $200 million. I can't until he's proved to me. Because with him, when he's on, he's on. But once you see that one interception, there's a second. There's a third coming. It's like he falls apart. You know what I'm saying? It's like so. But like I'm big into tomorrow. One of my favorite guys late day 3 is Trevor Keegan, left guard at Michigan, straight goon, number 77. This kid, this kid when he walks, his knuckles scrape on the ground. He looks just like Kevin Gogan, big, massive run stopper. Run blocker. He's gonna fly up draft boards. Now, also too, great value. My guard number 1 was Zach Zinter, Michigan's right guard, but he broke both bones in his leg versus Ohio State late in the season. Now, Dallas is famous for drafting hurt guys because we know Jerry's never going to get fired. But if you grab him, if you grab Zach Zinter in round 3, who has a round 1, he was my guard 1 before the draft. Now my guard 1 is Cooper Beebe out of Kansas. But if you can grab Zach Zinter round 3 and then redshirt him, it's Zach Martin's last year. He's our starting guard in 2025. It's just a lot of things are going to come into play. I think we'll know a lot more with the draft the way free agency goes. Because let's be honest, we're not going to find a left tackle in free agency.
No, I think the Cowboys' plan this free agency is getting a linebacker. I think you might. I think Tampa Bay has two linebackers, Devin White and the other gentleman. I can't remember his name right now, but I think
Levante, they got
Levante Davis. Yep.
Levante Davis.
I think Cowboys are going to try to pursue one of those linebackers. Because that's just a glaring need. Leighton Vander Esch is retiring. Overshown is coming off, the torn ACL. Damone Clark looked completely lost. So I really think that they have to start with linebacker. I don't know if they're going to go, third week of free agency, fourth week free agency. They could do that with the offensive line. They could do that with a corner or something like that. But I really think they're going to go aggressive with one linebacker at least, and that news could be popping up here in a week, or when legal tampering happens. It'll be really interesting to see. But I think the first wave of free agencies, Cowboys going in at linebacker.
As long as we get one stud linebacker in free agency, I'm okay. I mean, I even like Junior Colson from Michigan, but I have a third-round grade on him. I don't think he's anywhere near like a lot of the guys are saying. Me personally, I don't think you're going to see a round one middle linebacker. I don't think. Everyone's talking about the kid Peyton Wilson. Oh my God, the kid's made of glass.
He's made of glass.
He's had 12 surgeries in his college career. Plus, he has two bad shoulders. Why don't we just draft a wide receiver with no hands? And if you look at him at the combine, he has the build of a safety. He's light in the ass, excuse my language. He's a little I look at him and I see a safety. I don't see a guy in Peyton Wilson who can bang between the offensive tackle box in the run game in the NFL. I'm sorry.
I agree. I agree with that.
I don't see it with him. And everyone's like raving about his 40, but hurt guys, there's a saying, hurt guys stay hurt. I personally don't believe he'll even be on half the team's draft boards. How do you draft a guy with 12 injuries? I mean, Dallas might, because that seems like
second round gamble.
But I mean, with no time when coming back, how do we? I would love to go linebacker, running back, round 3. It all depends how the board falls. In a perfect world, I would love to go back from 24 to 29, grab an extra third, because we only have a first, a second, a third, and I could be wrong, but I believe 2 6s and 2 7s. We got no 4. Thank you, Trey Lance, which will never see the field. And thank you, Dan Quinn, because he traded up for Eric Scott, who was on the side of a milk carton. And we have no 5th because of him. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
So we have after the 3rd pick, we have a giant void before we draft again. I mean, the comp picks haven't come out, but the only ones we're really looking for is we got McGovern and Schultz. So we'll see. People are going back and forth what picks we're going to get from them. But we have, people joke around, some guys gave me the nickname Day 3 Danny, because I always think Day 3 is the most important day of the draft, because that's the core of your team. Let's be honest. That's where you find those hidden gems, like we did with Deron Bland. Bland wasn't even a combine invite. But now, you tell me if I'm right or wrong. If we pay Dak, now we have to pay Micah, we have to pay Lamb. Name me one NFL team that has $200 million corners. We got $100 million in Diggs. How are we going to throw $100 million at Bland with re-signing Dak? You tell me if I'm right or wrong about that.
No, it's impossible, and I'm with you there. When it comes to Dak Prescott, after 8 years, potentially a 3rd contract, it's a franchise killer. And, we tried to build around Dak. Obviously, it's not 1,000% on Dak, but there comes a point in time where you have to tell yourself, okay, I want to get younger at that position so I can build around that position and help that younger guy out. We drafted Ezekiel Elliott, Dak's rookie year, we drafted Dak that same year, right? But you look at our offensive line, our defense wasn't the best, but it did enough. And so I would rather go build around a young quarterback than have a quarterback and have him bet to elevate this team and take us there. Because a lot of these Dak fanatics sing the tune that the front office don't give him any help. Well, if you pay him market value that you want, that you keep preaching, it's hard to build around a quarterback. Oh, but this team does it. Oh, that team does it. There's only one winner in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
Listen, I agree with you and Joe Rod 1,000% about Dak. But when it comes to Dak, what more can we give him? We gave him a rookie Zeke and Zeke running hard for 3 years. We gave Dak a great offensive line with supposedly 3 Hall of Famers on it in Zach Martin, Frederick, and Tyron. We gave Dak Prescott Amari Cooper, Lamb, and a healthy Michael Gallup. What did he get us? So what more can we give Dak? Michael Irvin, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice at wide receiver? Like what more? What more? Like how many more excuses are people going to make for him?
They'll find an excuse for him, and that's where I'm at though, Danny. Is I'm at the point where I would rather, like the 49ers, I would rather build around a quarterback than have the quarterback elevate a team. That's just me. That's the way I think. And so when you're looking at Dak Prescott and you see a potential third contract to the tune of $60 million a year, obviously he's not going to be $60 million a year, but you keep shooting yourself in the foot. The more you restructure that contract, the more you push money down the road. So it ain't his, like it. Let's say they gave him a 3-year deal. They're going to have to restructure for 2 years. His cap hit's probably going to be $80 million.
Yeah,
What are you supposed to do with that? Extend him again? That's going to be 80-year-olds playing quarterback. Eat the $60 million. Do not restructure. If this is the guy that these guys tell me every day on Twitter that he can win a Super Bowl, you eat the $60 million. And you go get it. You go get it, Dak.
Listen, in a perfect world, I would trade him. I'd rather trade him than see him walk away for nothing. Because everyone talks about no trade clauses. That means absolutely nothing. Because we agree to trade him. A team is going to throw a big contract on him, and he's going to waive the no trade clause. And I'd rather. Because especially in a lame duck year, why do you want a $59 million quarterback on your team? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
I'm going to give you 2 names on day 3. 2 day 3 quarterbacks late. These are 6th, 7th rounders. Baby Tua out of Maryland. Tua Tagovailoa's younger brother. All this kid does, he's undersized, but all he does is make plays. And at Maryland, he didn't have much help at wide receiver. At the Senior Bowl, him and Frank Gore Jr. stole the show. Also, another kid, day 3 quarterback, Devin Leary out of Kentucky. Now, these are day 3 guys. Tua might go a little bit early just because of his brother, but all he does is make plays. I'm a type of guy, when I look at somebody, I don't, like everyone says analytics, their size, this and that. What did Jimmy Johnson do? He drafted football players. He drafted a Zach Thomas in the 5th round where everybody laughed at him because he was too small and he's a Hall of Famer. He drafted a 2-light Jason Taylor in Miami. You know, he was in Miami like 3-4 years and drafted 2 Hall of Famers. He was the best coach with an eye for talent I ever seen, but he drafted football players versus workout warriors. Like the one kid, Worthy, who ran the fastest time ever today at the combine. Yeah, that's great. What did John Ross do in the NFL, who had the previous fastest wide receiver speed? You know, in my opinion, wide receiver is the speed on a wide receiver is the most overrated aspect of their game because Jerry Rice ran a 4.7. Michael Irvin ran a 4.7. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, I mean, I just think we're at a point where just blow things up and start all over. And like, I haven't even started with my rant on Micah yet. You know what I'm trying to say? Because we could talk about that later. Keep it with the draft. But like I said, the kid Trevor Keegan out of Michigan, monster. The kid's a goon. If you look at him, his arms are crazy. Zinter, the right guard out of Michigan. Another kid I like late, day 3, Walter Rouse. He's now Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. He's getting all the love, but Tyler Guyton played right tackle. So Walter Rouse, a transfer from Stanford. He played at Stanford, and his last year he transferred to Oklahoma. Walter Rouse kept Tyler Guyton at right tackle. So he's a guy that's not getting a lot of love, but he's great day 3 value. There's value on day 3. Right now, I would say Cooper Beebe from Kansas is my number 1 guard. Center, I like Graham Barton out of Duke because he has left tackle flexibility and he's just straight up nasty. And Zach Frazier. If anyone can Google it, Zach Frazier plays for West Virginia. They were playing a game, and it was like the last 2 minutes of the game. And if you call an injury timeout within if there's an injured player, the last 2 minutes of the game, there's like in college football, they run off the clock about 10, 20 seconds. The kid broke his leg on a 2-minute drive, within the 2 minutes drive, last 2 minutes of the game. And he was crawling off the field with a broken leg just so his team just so the refs that would not have to call a timeout and there would be a run off the clock on the team. That's the kind of kid I want on my team. That's the kind of guy, that's a kid that's going to start the next 10 years in the NFL. He was a state champion wrestler. I got a feeling Philadelphia might grab him because Kelsey's on the verge of retirement. It's going to be iffy. I mean, it's possible that, honestly, it's crazy to think, but it's possible like all 3 centers are even gone at 24. So, I mean, now, like I know you're talking about Walesko. He hasn't showed me nothing but bad shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ball is, we're going to throw Wilson Richards there, and then, Dak's going to get, he can't throw when you're scraping him off the ground. So if, we're moving on from Tyron, which we should have moved on 3 years ago, might as well just move on from Dak at this point.
Right. No, so this Cowboys champ in the building. So this guy said, so Dak plays defense. Listen, and because we're talking about the chat was going to with the Green Bay. Yeah, but Micah and CeeDee Lamb isn't going to throw. Hey, mute up Cowboys champ real quick. Micah and Dak isn't going to throw Dak Prescott under the bus. So, but let's break the first 4 drives down because a lot of people forget, right? Because this guy, and I guarantee you, a lot of Cowboy Dak fans was, oh my God, Dak sucks. Dak is this, because they're all emotions. We're seeing what we've been seeing, but then they calm down. They're like, oh, I love Dak. I was just kidding. And this is one of the guys, I guarantee it. So your raw emotions, your gut, when you say that, you mean it. So let's go over the first 4 drives. Yes, they had a good game plan. They opened up the game. They wanted the ball, and they went down there and scored. They did. Okay. Dak Prescott gets the ball. They go 3 and out. They punt the ball back to the Packers. The defense stops them. What does Dak do? He throws an interception, and they have 19 yards to go to the goal line. So either way, they were going to get 3 points or they were going to get 7 points. Either way. So then they get the ball. Dallas gets the ball back. What do? They punt again. And guess what happens? The defense already been on the field for like 8 minutes of straight cardio because the Packers already went down the field and scored on them. They did the exact same thing. Went down the field and scored on them. So then you look up, you're like, crap, it's 20-0 because Dak just took a freaking sack and got us out of field goal range. So they get the ball again, they punt, and guess what happens? Dak throws a pick 6, and it's 27-0. So Dak doesn't play defense. Dak doesn't help his defense.
I agree with you 1,000%. But like you said, these guys, a lot of these guys and a lot of these content creators, they just like you said, you nailed it on the head. They were mad at Dak for one day, and then the next day, nah, he's good. That's my quarterback with tears in their eyes. And I'm like, look, perfect example. What did Jimmy Johnson do? Jimmy Johnson drafted Troy Aikman.
Look at this excuse.
With the first overall pick. What did he do the following year? He used another first-round pick on Steve Walsh from Miami. 2 years in a row, he used first-round picks on quarterbacks.
Yep. Cowboys won't do that.
Never, not this year, because notice Jerry's been trolling us for 28 years
and counting.
It's a brand. He paid $100 million for the team. Team's worth $8 billion. Jerry's world is packed every Sunday. Do you really think Jerry cares if we loses? Let me ask you a question. If the Cleveland Browns, who they're doing much better right now, but if they charged $200 for people to show up at training camp, they would get tomatoes thrown at them. Yet people pay $200 to go to Oxnard.
Yeah.
Where it's nice and 65 degrees. Why not have training camp in Texas when it's 120 outside?
So what Danny Savage is talking about is if you want to go to the field and get close to the Dallas Cowboys, you have to have a fan pass. And that fan pass is $30 for a full year, and that subscription renews every year. But Cowboys champ, welcome aboard to Talking Crazy on this beautiful Saturday night. How you been, brother?
Oh, man, finally got a Saturday off.
And you spend it right here with Talking Crazy with Cowboys Corner and Danny Savage.
Yeah, man. Man, this has been a weird week, especially when it comes to Jerry Jones' comments. The fans still crying about Dak being the elite quarterback. And now today with Tyron Smith going free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to the fan earlier today. They were talking about who's going to replace him. You get his replacement, Tyron Smith. And my thing is Austin Richards and what's the other guy named Doss? Bass. Those are guards. Yeah, play them young cats.
Eastside Herald on there.
Yeah, see.
Cowboys kid, what's up, man?
What's up? What's poppin'?
Hey, we've been talking about the combine. Have you been keeping up with the combine or anything?
No. Update me. What's happening?
Well, you gotta rewatch the show. We just spent 30 minutes talking about it.
About the combine? What's so good about it?
And we integrated Cowboy talk with that.
Mm-hmm. Right now,
go ahead.
Right now I'm looking at the running backs 40 on YouTube.
Okay. Well, Danny Savage right here. This guy is a big supporter of the First Score Report every Tuesday with me and Joe, and he'll be in the comment section. And Danny Savage, if you have any draft questions, this is the go-to guy right here. He lives and breeds college ball. He scouts these guys. Christmas draft day is who has the TV on? Who has the TV on? Christmas is the draft for him. So that's what we've been talking about, Cowboys kid, the last few minutes. And so just getting all that done and stuff like that. But let's talk about some Cowboys, all right? Let's go to the corner of Crazy and Cowboys, Danny Savage, Cowboys champ and Cowboys kid, all right? Jerry Jones is moonwalking back the all-in comments. Obviously, this is no surprise to any Cowboys fan. And so we know that this was the reading between the lines when it comes to Jerry and walking comments back. Because when I look at it, when Jerry first said that, Steven didn't say that. McCarthy never said that when they asked him about that during the Mike Zimmer press conference. So when you put all that together, you're like, oh, Jerry's just trying to sell the Cowboys because we just got embarrassed against the Green Bay Packers, the youngest team in the National Football League, right? So when Stephen Jones says Jerry Jones goes all in every year, we still know that's bull crap. So, in a perfect world, Danny Savage, I'll start with you. How can the Cowboys, without extending, this is the key here, without extending Dak Prescott, go and make quote unquote all in moves? What's your opinions?
We can't. To go all in without extending him, going all in is drafting a left tackle, bringing Tyron back at like $5 million as a swing tackle, but then you got to go out and you got to get like 2 stud linebackers in free agency. They're going to run you a minimum of $10 million each. You know, you got to get a big run stopper in the middle. You got Mozzie Smith who can't stop a cold, and all these fans that are saying, "Oh, poor Mozzie lost 40 pounds." I want to see one video of Mozzie saying, "Dallas Cowboys made me lose 40 pounds." Nah, bro, he lost 40 pounds. I said from day one I wasn't a fan of him. We should have took Brian Burris last year from Clemson, a defensive tackle. But what do I know? He only made all rookie team and went 4 picks later than Mozzie Smith. I can't see going all in this year with Dak on the team. No, I don't see it. With the money, you can't. We have too. Joe said it the other night. We can look a million different ways. There's so many holes on this team. Let's be honest. We need a whole new running back room. Let's be honest. Yep. We need safety is a sneaky need. I love the kid Williams out of Miami, 6'5", 220. He ran a 4.7, but that's what Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, who plays for the Ravens, that's what he ran, and he's playing pretty good for the Ravens. He's 6'5", 220, and he can probably bulk up to 230 and play safety for us. Safety is the sneaky need. Dallas has so many needs. There's when Jerry says all in, that's just to keep us in the news. It's a joke. Didn't you notice, we're the only team that ever changes a head coach or a defensive coordinator a day before the Super Bowl?
No, that's true.
Because Jerry wants Dallas in the news the week of the Super Bowl. It's a brand. He doesn't care. I don't see it. I mean, there's no way, especially if with no Tyron, there's no way Dak can be on the field this year, and it's all in. What's all into Jerry? Let's be honest. So no one might think. Know what I think he's probably going to do? He's going to sign Derrick Henry because idiots are going to go out and buy his jersey. And I don't know how many. I know I'm showing my age, but anyone remember Eddie George's last year in Dallas? How did that work out? You know what I'm trying to say? But running backs sell a lot more jerseys than linebackers and defensive tackles. So all into Jerry is probably going out and throwing. Listen, it can't be any worse than him throwing $10 million like he did at Tony Pollard. That was a $10 million waste. It's all in. All into Jerry is 2 boxes of wine from the corner gas station. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Eric Walls asked you a question, Danny Savage. Cody Schrader from Missouri, where do you think he'll get drafted? What round?
The sweet spot for running back this year is 3 to 4. He's probably going to be at least 5'6".
Okay.
5'6". He had a low level of competition. There's a lot of late round speedsters this year. You can get a quality. You can get a Rashawn Ali from Marshall round 6. A Frank Gore Jr. is going to go round 6, round 7. You got big kid Carson Steele out of UCLA. He's going to go late. I mean, there's Trey Benson. I don't think he's going to sneak into the first round. He might go the first couple of picks of round 2 because he did have a major knee injury 3 years ago. You know what I'm trying to say? But he ran his 140 today, and he's my running back 1. But you can, running back's a position. Everyone, I got laughed at 3 years ago when I said Isaiah Pacheco out of Rutgers. People are like, what's Rutgers? What's Rutgers? I watched the kid play every single game, and the kid ran a 4.3, like a 4.37 at the combine. Kansas City takes him in round 7. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't need to take a running back in round 1 anymore. Did Bijan Robinson take Atlanta to the Super Bowl?
I don't even know how they didn't take a quarterback. I really don't. But now it looks like they're going to get Justin Fields. But Cowboys kid, like if you don't extend Dak Prescott, how do you go all in?
Well, I think that the narrative of the Cowboys needs to be reframed. I think we need to sit down because I do agree that if you were to sign Derrick Henry, the name Derrick Henry is what you're signing. You're not signing the skill of Derrick Henry. And I think that the Cowboys franchise has become so into profit and all this ego stuff that we forget actually our goal. Dak is a wonderful guy off the field, but he cannot produce when it comes down to real football time. Same thing with CD Lamb. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he just doesn't have that dog in him. He doesn't have that fight in him. You know what I'm saying? And so if you were to sign Derrick Henry, like the man is like no hate on y'all old people, but like he's like 35. He's getting up there.
I don't think he's 35. I think he's
27-ish.
Yeah, 27.
Who? Derrick Henry?
Yeah, but 27, 28, that's old for a running back.
That is very old.
Unless you're Frank Gore, that's old for a running back.
Or Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
Cowboys champ. Without extending Dak Prescott, how do you go all in? Derrick Henry's 30.
Wow.
Man, you get $59 million. You can't do it.
Oh. All right, go ahead, champ.
$59 million. You can't go all in. You got too many holes. You got to fix the offensive line. You need a running back. You need defensive tackles. You need linebackers. You need safeties. And plus, remember, we still got a lame duck head coach.
Yeah.
Everybody, matter of fact, the whole coaching staff are lame ducks.
Yep.
1 year. And if in the deal with Jerry Jones, he said that the risk reward having the owner and the general manager be the same person. Nah, and nothing in. The only thing he's all in is into his baby mama draws. That's what he all into.
Yes, sir. Hey, we got another draft guru in here. CowboysBlog.net from the Frisco Report.com is in your city right now, right there. Cowboys Blog, thank you for coming in, brother. Obviously, I'm the co-host to his Frisco Report. How you doing this Saturday night, Joe?
Man, doing good, bro. Doing good, man. Just logged on here to check y'all out, man. Good, great conversation, dude. And the Savage, the Guru.
The champ's here, Joe. Good seeing you, bro. Good talking to you, man.
I gave you that wrench, baby. I gave you that wrench, man. So next live show we got, man, I got you there, bro.
You're the man. I hope you're feeling better, man.
I'm getting
down better.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, bro. But man, what a crazy offseason we're about to get into, isn't it?
Oh, dude, it's about to be insane because there's so many question marks right now, and there's not a lot of reports coming out. Obviously, we got the report of Tyron Smith. Okay. Well, let's go shoulders. Awesome Richards didn't play. They redshirted him. You got Josh Ball, who was a total bust. So, Tyler Smith feels comfortable playing left guard, but he don't want to go to left tackle because he wants to play left guard. So you got that all line. Tyler Biadasz. You got that Terrence Steele. Do you have to start looking for his replacement because he looked like crap coming off that ACL injury, right? So O-line, big problems, all right? Then you got the questions of linebacker. You got the questions of defensive tackle. You mentioned a good point, Danny Savage, about safety being in sneaky need, right? Malik Hooker is getting along in the tooth. Donald Wilson didn't look the same coming back from injury. Yeah, he got a couple of picks and this, that, and the third towards the end of the year. But it took him a while to get going. So, wow, there's a lot of questions.
Man, I don't know if y'all watched Stephen Jones interview. I think it was like yesterday or the day before, but I think he dropped some clues, man. I think these guys are going to go the cheap. I think they are going to ask Tyler Smith to move to left tackle and roll with Bass and maybe Hoffman there in the middle, which I'm not on board on that. But these guys, man, they have a lot of hubris, bro. They have a lot of pride. Like, oh, we'll show you. We're going to do it this way, and we're going to make it work. And O-line by committee, we're gonna get bit, man. I don't know, man. That worries the crap out of me, man. You know.
Don't people forget Tyler Smith getting Dak hurt with his broken thumb at left tackle? I mean, I think we all could agree Tyler Smith is a much better left guard
Absolutely.
than left tackle. So why mess things up? Leave him there. Let's go out and get. If we're not gonna sign Tyron, but Tyron should have been off the team 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So leave Tyler Smith at left guard. But now we got two giant holes we got left tackle and center. And like we were talking earlier, we make our needs so obvious. It's ridiculous. And unless they want to throw Bass at center, I like Bass. I think he's very strong. He has a future. Hoffman in preseason was gross. I'm sorry. We can't.
Yeah.
It's.
I agree, man. These guys, you just really never know what they're gonna do. Like what the hell they're planning.
Uh-oh. I think we lost Joe there. He'll come back in, I'm sure. Cowboys kid, like what are your biggest question marks going into this new league year for the Dallas Cowboys?
I'll just let people.
Oh, there he is. Is he back?
Yeah.
Are you back, Joe? Now we can't hear you now.
No, we can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear Joe?
Yeah, I can hear Joe.
How come I can't hear Joe? Joe, talk.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. I can hear you now.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So the limits of the draft, you only have a certain amount of picks, comp picks. We might get some fourths for Dalton and McGovern, but they got to do a better job on these picks outside the first round. You know what I mean? So, Will McClay and this and that. Like, dude, show me some genius outside the first round, bro. Not just here and there. I mean, I like Deron Bland, don't get me wrong, but for every good pick, Mike, we've said this, like, there's a lot of misses there.
A lot of misses.
Joe, I'm glad you brought that up. Our curse is round 2. Let's be honest. In the last 20 years, besides Sean Lee, Diggs, and DeMarcus Lawrence, who's tired, who have we hit on in round 2?
Yeah.
Nobody.
So it's like, for me, that's why I keep saying, just use that pick on either get a vet in a trade or package that and move up in your first round, because that second round, man, it's almost like they look for the guy with the injuries, with the off-field issue. Oh, this guy. I mean,
well, you can do that when you have no fear of when you have a GM with no fear of being fired. You can do that every year.
That's right, exactly.
And that's what Dallas does. They did it with Jalen Smith hurt. Sean Lee turned out to be a great player, but he had a lot of knee problems at Penn State also.
Hamstrings. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they do Damone Clark with a bad neck at a position where every play is a car crash. Come on, man. And like a lot of these fans, they're anointing Overshown. Overshown has not played a single down in the NFL. He made a few plays against guys that are selling cars and bouncing the strip clubs. Let's be honest. Yo, if Overshown shows up at 245, okay, we're in. But if he shows back up at 220, because he was 220 with pads on, we're right back to another undersized linebacker. But yet,
that's true.
Is saying, he's just like Jabril Cox. Oh, he wore 18 at LSU. That's LSU's 18 is like Penn State's 11. You guys do realize every year someone wears 18 at LSU. Every year someone wears 11 at Penn State. They're not the next LT. They're not the next media Micah. that's a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, yeah, second round. You know, who would this year's second round pick be? You know, who right now could
Peyton
be?
Wilson.
Well, there you go. Right, that would be the guy.
he looks like a safety to me, in my opinion.
He looks like, man. I don't know. He doesn't look like a football player to me, man.
He looks like a
but his
safety.
40. But his 40.
Oh, I mean, everybody's.
Yeah.
The people that are blowing him up are the guys that don't watch football. They take a copy of Dane Brugler's top 100 list, and that's all they know. And that's all they talk about. And they put out shows. It's all clickbait. They do this. They do that.
Yeah.
The kid has 2 bad shoulders. Nah, no thank you.
Yeah,
I won't go near that kid.
I mean,
He has a build of a safety in my eyes.
yeah, yeah, man. But these guys, let's get them.
No, it's that's typical Cowboys fans, but when we look at these drafts, the draft that me, Joe, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, I met some really cool content creators there. I mean, you look at that draft, that was just 2018 now. Leighton Vander Esch about to retire. Connor Williams with Miami. Michael Gallup about to get released. Dorrance Armstrong's hanging around. Dalton Schultz with the Texans. Mike White with the Jets. Chris Covington nowhere to be found. Cedric Wilson gone. Bo Scarborough gone. It's like, that's how fast if you don't hit. And it just felt like we were in Dallas enjoying that draft just yesterday, Joe. Like, that's how much if you don't draft well. I'm a firm believer, Joe, Danny, and Cowboys kid, that them missing on this year's draft hurt us a lot in this playoff game. You needed tight end play, you didn't get it. You needed a run stopper, you didn't get it. You needed some tackle help, you didn't get it. You needed this draft class to help you in certain areas against the Packers, and you didn't get it.
No, you didn't get it, man. Honestly, man, there needs to be more people need to talk about McClay, man. I think he's gotten complacent. You know what I mean? Like, he's rode the wave of getting Zach Martin over Manziel, but now it's like we're getting some goofy picks here, man. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You're not really going best player available. Nashawn Wright. Like, dude, I'll never forget that, dude.
Everybody was like, who? He was ranked in the 300s, this kid. But that was a Dan Quinn pick. And Dan Quinn has run the draft room the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, Dallas has only drafted 10 offensive players in the last 3 drafts. Last year, Junior Fajoku, I mean, like, bro. So let's think about it. We drafted one defensive tackle who lost 40 pounds, and then we drafted another defensive tackle who we want him to gain 50 pounds, who never even saw the field.
Yeah.
I think personally, the Stoolmaker pick, the 25-year-old rookie, that was Big Mike just being a desperate pick of, like, let me just get some offensive player. Because, I mean, I'm glad Dan Quinn is gone because he would have ruled this draft too. It's like he's had stroke the last 3 years in the draft room.
Yeah, no, you're right, man, and that's what I keep saying. Will McClay, he doesn't button up the draft. It's y'all make the picks. Forget what my scout said. Y'all go in here. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're definitely had a big influence on that.
No. What do you think about the draft, Cowboys kid? How do you think Will McClay's been drafted?
Well, I'm not gonna speak on that because I don't know too much about the draft as I said when I hopped on here, because I've been watching that combine. But I will say that a bunch of questions without any answers is never a good sign.
Right.
So
Wise man. Wise young man.
No, Cowboys kid comes in here, dude. He be spitting some fire, dude. Don't underestimate Cowboys. He's around a bunch of Commander fans, aka Redskin fans. Hopefully, they get that name back. And he's been holding the bragging rights down for us over there in Maryland. So he's doing some good things for us over there. But no, man, Cowboys, man, like Cowboys kid said, there's a lot of question marks here, and I might be over exaggerating, but I don't think there's been this many distractions with this, because Dak's extension, question mark. Michael Gallup, Tyron Smith, the defense, Mike Zimmer, 1-year deal, Mike McCarthy, 1-year deal. Like, there's so much, and I said this on the first report. There's so much, like, I'm just waiting for this fire, and it's going to implode on the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to sit here looking stupid at 6-11 because they didn't address any of this. And we're going to be pointing fingers, and Twitters and me are going to be fighting each other because I told you so. You know, I don't want to be that guy, but I've been that guy.
Mike Zimmer can't play defense himself. I know Mike Zimmer wants to go back to a 4-3. He loves his 2 giant 1 techs in the middle. Who do we have to play edge? No, we don't have anyone to play edge. We got 1 linebacker in Micah. It's going to take us, he's a lame duck 1-year coach. It's going to take us 3 drafts to get 4-3 personnel. It's not a great edge draft this year. You got the one kid, Robinson, out of Missouri, who, in my opinion, he played his first 3 years at defensive tackle. Then this year he slid to edge, tore up the Senior Bowl, and he's 6'5", 290. He ran like a 4.8. My opinion, you throw 15 pounds on that kid, you slide him inside. He's our Eric Armstead, but he's not going to get out of the first round. But I can't see. We've taken 7 defensive tackles in the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. With draft picks and trades, and we still can't stop the run. Dan Quinn has set this team back years, and just like you said, you don't want to be the guy, but the way we're going, I see this team taking a big step back this year.
It's gonna be like, when we went into MetLife Stadium week 1 and we fucking beat. I'm sorry, Cowboys kid. We flipping beat those guys 40-0. I have a feeling we might get a couple of doses of that if they don't start getting this crap together. And that's just the reality of it, guys.
Yeah.
I agree, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining, you know what I mean? And that's really what Jerry wants, man. It's about that, man. It's about clicks and views. It's no longer about getting those, bro. It's sad, bro.
Oh, but his first clickbait was what? We're gonna go all in. Let's just say we're not building for the future. And dude, it was like someone dropped a piece of bread on an anthill. It just got the attention. This was right after the Super Bowl. It got that attention. Jerry's going all in. Skip, Shannon, Stephen A, everybody, Cowboys content. It was like just someone just dropped some candy on a damn anthill, and it was there. Then fast forward a few weeks later, oh well. My all in and you're all in just different.
Yeah,
Mike's in for a paycheck. Big Mike's he's only here for a paycheck. Let's be honest, man. And how do you not show up at the combine? Come on. You got to sit. You got to be there and talk to guys. Look them in the eyes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're acting like we just won the Super Bowl. Oh, we're taking off the combine this year.
Yeah, they're putting pieces in place so Dak can call another preseason game and choke in the playoffs. That's what they're going to build, even if they make the playoffs, right? And we're not trying to be pessimistic here. I'm not trying to be a sword to the side here, just poking at it. It's just I think this is the most distracted offseason we've had in quite some time.
But like Joe said, that's what Jerry wants.
Yeah, it's all blindside, dude.
They thrive on this.
You know what's next, man? Hard knock, baby.
I'm
telling you, man. That'll be it.
Yeah.
On the coffin right there.
Hard Knocks should be the equivalent of being on the cover of Madden.
Right.
Who's ever on Hard Knocks, you're dead in the water.
You're done. Yeah.
Like you, Joe, you say it all the time. These kids, they come to Dallas, they're superstars, and then they just fall. They fall to the wayside after a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm just going to speak on Micah a little bit. I'm sorry, Micah is the Dallas media hype machine. For 3 years in a row, he disappears at the end of the season. He wears down.
Yeah, he does.
And granted, He had a 14 sacks this year, but in the last 5 games, I believe he had 1.5 sacks.
7 games is 2.5.
Okay, 2.5 in the last 7. Let's be honest. He's too small to play full-time edge.
Yep.
He's too small. He wants zero part of middle linebacker stopping the run inside the tackle box. So unless you play him like the elephant position Charles Haley did in San Fran, where you play him at a different position each single play, where you can't game plan against him, what good is he? What good are you having him on the team?
Mm.
You know, and he starts his podcast. No one cares about what he's talking about other players. No one cares about that, but Jerry does. Jerry wishes all 53 players had podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And
Oh, yeah.
then,
Oh, yeah.
And then what did Micah say after the Green Bay game? He was happy with the play he gave. He was happy how he played. Come on, bro.
Oh,
Yo,
man,
Trent Williams took his food against San Fran, and then you traded jerseys after the game?
traded jerseys. Then you're interviewing Jordan Love on your podcast. Like, bro,
Come on, man. It's all I call it all friends football. These guys are businessmen.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like what made me be so mad at Micah Parsons last year was it was my final, like, I'm done with Parsons. Kind of like when I'm done with Dak, right? When I'm done with you, I'm done with you. I don't care how good you are, how good you think you are. It was before we played the Eagles. He had Slay's jersey behind him, and he was praising this divisional rivalry even before we haven't even played them yet. And he's giving them the bow. He's giving them the crown. And what happened? We went down all the way to the 6-yard line at that nasty Lincoln Financial Field, and we choked it up. Why? Because we already crowned them to be better. That was the culture. That was the mindset. We could have a whole hour discussion on culture when you're ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Jerry says, what's culture? Jerry, you have to ask that because you obviously don't know what it is. When you find the definition of culture, Jerry, your eyes are going to be woke up, or you're going to be closed for eternity because you're going to die by the time you figure out what culture is. Because we have a serious culture problem with Micah's podcast, with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb getting pushed in the back, not doing anything. Like, I don't know if it's the new generation, painting fingernails and pronouns. And, I don't know if it's that. But these new kids, the way Caleb Williams is acting, and he don't even have an NFL contract in front of him yet, the way he's acting, the way Harrison Jr. is acting.
Well, that's what happens when you make $15 million in college on your NIL deal.
Dude, they're getting soft as Charmin, bro. And like I think NFL culture, that Dallas is the first to taste it. I think it's gonna spread out, dude. And it's going to be like basketball. We're going to have a whole bunch of sissies on this court. Seriously.
You know what it is? Like, I show my age a lot, but I say, like, with Dallas, the Dallas standard is you win the Super Bowl or the season was a failure. That's it. That's it. I was a kid. I saw Danny White go to 3 straight NFC Championship games and lose. Then I was around for the bad years, and then I was around for the great years. I stopped caring, honestly, in 1994 when Jerry fired Jimmy. Yeah, let's be honest, man. Jimmy stays. Dallas wins 5 straight Super Bowls, and we probably have 8 to 10 more guys in Canton. So yeah. I honestly stopped caring there because that just shows you what a psychopath Jerry is. Jerry thinks he's Al Davis. If the NFL would allow it, Jerry would be on the sideline coaching.
Yeah, that's the truth, bro. No, you're right, man.
What do you think, Cowboys? What do you think about culture, brother?
I think the key word to Micah Parsons is dog. We talked about this previously. He just does not have that dog in him. And we see it on his podcast. We see it all over. I mean, I play football and, even after the game, I'm not a sore loser. but I'm not gonna trade jerseys with you after I just lost in the playoffs to you. Are you a fool? I mean, you're lucky, you're lucky if I don't walk up and get angry with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna trade jerseys with you after a playoff loss like that and a terrible performance like that. Come on now.
Cowboys kid, you're very wise for your age, but I'm going to tell you something. You should be a sore loser. A very famous head coach by the name of Vince Lombardi said, "Show me someone who's not a sore loser, and I will show you a loser."
That's true. No, that's damn true. I was a horrible loser. I'd cry after a football game loss. I'd be so damn mad. I'd just have tears coming out of my eyes.
Trade jerseys? Nah, it's all friends football today's world. Would Charles Haley ever trade jerseys with somebody? Would Eric Williams ever trade jerseys? Larry Allen? All these guys, like the monsters that we used to have? Come on, man.
Lawrence Taylor. Whew. They wouldn't touch that.
But it all starts with the NFLPA too, man. All these bargaining agreements are getting worse and worse and worse, and you wonder why they're getting all these Achilles injuries and hamstrings and ACLs, just because they're not working that muscle like they're supposed to.
They're not practicing. They're not practicing like they should. There's shape and there's football shape. But why is the NFL so sloppy until week 4 or 5? Why is there so many? Why has there been, just like you said, so many injuries the last few years? They're not allowed to hit in practice. They're not allowed to. They only have a certain amount of days they can hit in training camp. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, then you got Tank saying, "Oh, we retired." I'm telling you, I have a 90 jersey on order, and it says on the back, "I'm tired, boss." That's what it says. I'm tired. That's what it says. You're gonna see it hanging over me. That with my Romo with Uncle Rico on it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how do you sit there and you say we retired, and now we're going to pay him $10 million again next year this year to play edge? How is he not cut the same day? Big Mike's not making a decision. Big Mike's only there for a paycheck. Just like Joe, you were saying before, Hard Knocks. What is Hard Knocks? Anytime there was a personnel decision, who was doing it? Where was it? In Jerry's office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
putting salt on his biscuit.
Who puts salt on McDonald's? I mean, come on, man. Who puts salt on McDonald's? And the guy's a billionaire and drinks wine from a gas station. Come on, man. The elevator ain't going to the top. So I mean, what was it? Last year he showed the draft board, their first round draft board. He showed it. Yeah. They're like, "Put it down, Jerry. Put it down." I mean, he's probably cloning himself to come back, in real life. They probably have a Jerry growing somewhere.
They probably got a Jerry growing somewhere. We got another one, old school, OG in the building. This guy is always with us, when it comes to the Dak thoughts and stuff like that too. So, OG, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, great. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. We're talking crazy.
Oh, that's good. I'd like to hear that. What's happening?
Not a whole lot. We're just waiting on you to chime in. I know you've been watching the show in the background, so welcome in. What do you got? We're on the subject of culture.
Oh, yeah. Y'all need to worry about the culture, man. Don't worry about that right now. Y'all let everything ride the way it is. Let Parsons still have his little talk show. Jerry, he got to step out the way. And he got to understand that when Mike Zimmer come in the building, he has to understand that he needs to have his defensive line set and his linebacker set. And also, we got to worry about the secondary. Now, the culture is not the problem. The culture is at the quarterback position. We know everybody's going to do their own thing. And I just got to understand that. We have to learn how to move towards the future. Everybody's coming up with podcasts, just like we do. We have our little talk show right now. We have our thing. We streaming. The players need to be heard. They want to talk. They got things to say. Now, the business at the quarterback positions. We are one quarterback away from getting to the Super Bowl. Now, I keep telling everybody, we're going to fix the defense, okay? We're going to fix the defense. They're going to fix the defensive line. The secondary going to need to get better. The secondary has to get better. We got to get rid of Gilmore, Lewis, and we got to get rid of Curse. We got to bring in some young studs in there. the draft and these other guys coming in. It's good free agents. We got to. I would rather get our cornerbacks in the draft position because I want the young corners playing when we get to the playoffs because I want young corner on young corner. The reason why I want that because you ain't gonna get me with no double moves or no other kind of moves like that. No, you're gonna play good ball. We got beat really bad in secondary, so we're gonna fix the defense. It's gonna be really nice defense this year. You're gonna see that by Zimmerman. Jerry step back
Zimmerman.
and you're gonna step back. He had to draft. I was very upset that Mike McCarthy didn't make his push to get to the combine because he letting County Jerry run the team. We already said it already. But I thought that he would have jumped in and said, I'm gonna be there regardless. Even if I got to sit in the bleachers away from Jerry, I need to still see what's going on. I was kind of mad why he didn't show up. That's kind of lazy coaching right there. But you got
Mm.
to worry about the quarterback position this year. You got to worry about the running back position. Okay. Now, the reason why we didn't beat the Packers because we didn't have a mobile quarterback. You could throw all over the field all you want, but if you can't come up with a scheme to out trick the defense, it's about tricking the defense into a play action or some kind of offense that you can set them up for. And that's what you see with Kansas City coming from in the Super Bowl. They tricked San Francisco. So, and that's how they were able to beat San Francisco in the formation and what they did. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this year. So don't
No,
worry
that's
about the coach, huh?
what makes you so sure that they can get this defense fixed like that fast?
The reason they got all the pieces. They when they add Overshown's coming in, and Overshown's gonna I want to see Parson at weak side linebacker to come downhill because he can cover the tight end. Zimmerman got to put his foot down. If we will see how much control he got over this defense. If Zimmerman can't control this defense, then it might be a wash season, which is 1 year because Parson, you at linebacker. I don't know how Clark's going to do, but I'm also drafting a linebacker behind Clark, and I'm saying, hey, if you don't want to come up and tackle, you're on the bench. I'm sorry. We're looking for guys that need to come up and tackle. In this year's draft or in free agency, we need to get physical on going out the guys that needs to tackle, that wants to hit. I'm not talking about lazy tackling scary. Curse is scared. Gilmore, he's okay, but he's out of here. Lewis is decent, but no. All the other only physical dog that I see on this defense is Wilson. He's the only physical dog. That's the only person that I see on this defense that'll come up and hit you and let it lumber down. And Diggs, I'm worried about Diggs. He's gonna try to come back, gonna try to push it, but I don't trust that injury in his leg. So we have to draft the cornerback behind him that's better. I always say this makes sense. Why don't you just draft to bring a guy that's better than the guy that you're paying? It's in case of an injury. People need to understand if a player gets injured, then what that means is the player behind you is better than you. So when you go to the bench or you out for weeks, I got somebody I can count on. And that's how I figure out this defense. That's how I'm gonna get better. D-Dog's gonna be okay. I kind of wish he can play D tackle, but maybe it's a little bit too small. We'll find out more. But that's how you sew this thing up. And once they sew that defense up, they're gonna show Dan Quinn how it's gonna be done. That's what Zimmer's gonna do. They're gonna they're gonna win the East again with this defense. You know what I'm saying? But your problem is gonna be at the quarterback position and your running back. You need to sew those up. You need to say Dak Prescott, I'm sorry, but if you want an extension, you're gonna play by our rules now.
Ooh.
Okay? You gonna play by our rules. And what you mean by you gonna play by our rules? Look, bro, if it ain't working, you back up. I'm sorry. But if Trey Lance can come in here, you can drop the guy that come in there that can help us. Well, we need to get the play action game going and a good running back. And we need to get the ball at the guy's hand with a quick release, and they can throw the ball downfield. Throw the ball downfield and hit the target. We don't need drama. When you drop back 1, 2, 3 step on the center and you miss a guy over the top constantly when he's wide open, that's trouble, dog. You got problems. Guys are open. You got to hit those throws. I don't want to go touch on offense right now, but I'm confident in Zimmer right now. I'm on the fence on him, but I think he might do a good job. What you think?
Okay. Okay. Danny Savage, what do you got to say about all that?
I think Zim is a great coach, but unfortunately, he's not going to be playing on Sunday. I agree with what he just said. But the problem is we have so many needs, not a lot of draft picks, and we're crazy over the cap. So we're kind of in a corner. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's either trade Dak, and just blow this thing up and rebuild. Because the way we're going is like the movie Groundhog's Day. It's the same season over and over. And let's be honest, ever since Dak's ankle was hanging off, he hasn't been mobile at all. He's been afraid to run. And that's
Right.
hurt the game a lot. I
Yeah.
understand it was a serious injury, but ever since that injury, he stopped running.
Right.
You know? So he lost his mobility. And he's
Right.
not getting any younger, he's getting older. So
Right.
we just have it's just scary because it's like take a look at a dartboard, just throw a dart at it. We have so many needs. There's so many needs, so many question marks, and I just got a feeling it's gonna go back. You know, we like you said, we need safety, we need linebackers. You know, defensive tackles. Tank. I mean, me personally, I would have cut Tank the day he said we were tired. I'm sorry. Or this year, they have to do in practice, it's called the new Tank Lawrence rule. At the end of practice, we're going to run 10 more 100-yard passes since we were tired, since you were tired.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. These guys are
You
the
you
one.
you, you
These
know why
guys
he
are,
said that?
go ahead.
If you look at the playoff game, I hope everybody will make a look at the film. Okay. Now the first drive that the Packers went down and they scored on us. Okay, they gave up a touchdown. Okay, fine. That was we gave you that. But then the offense got the ball again, right? The offense got the ball. Didn't do anything with that. They punted the ball back over. The defense played another set of downs again, which is another 10 plays. So you say 10 to 15 plays. And then they stopped them, right? And then they Packers punted the ball right back over to Dallas. And then Dallas throws an interception on the 11-yard line. That's another 5 more plays to 7 more plays. That's a total of 17 plays in a matter of 10 minutes. I'm gonna be
Oh,
tired.
okay, listen. I understand where you're coming from, but you have to realize the first drive of the game, Green
Right,
Bay's first drive was 8 minutes long.
right.
Guys were asking Osa, and you can look at the tape if you said you
Hmm.
watched it, and a few other Cowboys were asking to come off the field on the first drive.
Right,
Another thing, we can all agree these NFL players are the 1% supreme athletes in the world. They're playing one way. You have all these NFL timeouts, commercials, and you're tired. I'm sorry. I
right.
don't see that. No,
But
it's
you,
from
but you
not
have,
tackling. It's from not tackling in
but
practice. It's from
you,
having camp cupcake. It's from not being physical. Who do you think runs a
you
tighter
have
camp?
to you have to understand when
Big
he
Mike
says
or
I'm
Dan
tired, he
Campbell?
can be physically. You listen to me. He can be physically tired, well worn down because they did add another game on. It was 16 games, but now it's 17 games. You can be physically tired and you can be mentally tired because if you're mentally tired, you're thinking, okay, well, shit, I done been in this position. I'm not making no excuses for Lawrence. I thought what he said was way on the left field, but what I'm saying is you got to kind of understand what he's saying. You got to understand to have compassion for him as a player. He's a veteran. He's been the oldest on his team, and he's saying that I'm probably tired of I'm tired of being on the field all day, and I'm tired of the office not doing anything. That's because I've seen him throughout the season, and once they turn the ball over, the offense turn the ball over. Maybe he's just like tired. Like I'm tired of that. I'm tired of Dak. I'm tired of what's going on. I want to. I need to go on to the next round. I've been here for 7, 8 years.
He's
I'm
been with us
tired.
longer than that.
9 years, going on his 10th year.
Okay, 9 years. He has seen Dak Prescott. He has gave nobody is more dedicated to the into Dallas Cowboys than Lawrence. Lawrence should have a Super Bowl ring right now. He should have a Super with the team that they had. He done had so many good teams around him. You got to understand that quarterback position is the number one position in the NFL. Then if you ain't got nobody to take you there, go get somebody to take you there. I would be tired too if I'm getting on this field and saying, man, I done been on this field. I done been on this field an hour and a half, and y'all done been on the field 30 minutes, and y'all can't get no, and you can't score, and you cannot get first downs. You come on, man. I mean, you
But
got to understand. Y'all got to read between the lines, man. That's all I'm
listen,
saying.
I agree to what you're saying to a point. But now for this coming season, you're okay with paying him $10 million to get 3 sacks? Because I believe
Yes.
that's what he had last year. So
I'm
you're
okay.
okay with him playing a full-time edge, because now we're going to the 4-3 again, not Dan Quinn's 3-2-6 Big 12 college defense. Where because if you let Dan Quinn, he'd play 11 safeties if you let him. But so you're okay paying Tank $10 million to
No.
get.
I'm okay paying. I'm okay paying when that money would help. Would help from Sam Williams and maybe another draft pick to help him to because Demarcus Lawrence is better. See, let me tell you something. The difference between Dan Quinn and Zimmerman is Zimmerman he's gonna be down on the sideline and he's gonna come down and he's gonna snatch your ass out the game and he's gonna show how disciplined this team is. This team did not have no discipline on defense, none whatsoever, nothing. Look, I'm gonna limit your plays. I'm sorry,
Okay, but let
I'm
me
gonna
ask you a
limit your
question.
plays.
When your contract is guaranteed, you think Tank's really going to care when he gets taken out of the game and sits on the sideline?
He has no
He's more
choice.
fresh to go out
He
clubbing
has
at
no
the end.
choice.
He's more fresh to go to the strip club after the game. What does he
He has
care?
no
Do you think he
look.
cares
I
if
would
he
rather
plays
have.
30 or
You know what?
50?
I would rather. Let me tell you something. I would rather have a refreshed Demarcus Lawrence coming in on third down than a worn down beat playing on second and third down. You know what? And maybe he can play first and second down on run defense and bring another guy in on the passing down on defense because then that gives him fresh legs.
I, you know, this. Me personally, I just feel Tank Lawrence is the Dak Prescott of the defense.
Oh, come
It's
on now.
excuse after excuse
Come on
after
now.
excuse.
Come on, man. You know better than that now. Come on, no, don't go
You
there.
pay you pay an edge
Don't
over
go
a
there.
$100 million to sack the quarterback.
Don't go. Let me tell you something. If you put Demarcus Lawrence on the Green Bay Packers, they win the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't
They
say
won the
that.
Super Bowl.
I wouldn't say that.
You're
Let me
acting like
say.
this
Let
guy's
me let
Bruce
me tell you
Smith.
something. Let me tell you something.
Hold on, hold on,
Demarcus
hold on, hold on, hold on.
when
Hold on, OG. Go ahead, Cowboys
okay.
kid. What do you got?
I gotta slide off now, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't care how tired you are. You never say that out in public. I would never say that and vocalize that on a public platform. To have you're an OG, you're a gangster on the Cowboys defense, and then you're gonna say to a public media platform and say we were tired. Do you know how that? Do you know what the younger fellas look up and say, "Oh, dang, the OG said that we're tired." Dang, I mean, I better go just sit back down on the court. I mean, I would never say that and vocalize that on a public platform.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm. Hey,
exactly.
big shout out to Cowboys Up podcast, real quick. Good buddies of mine. You guys subscribe to their up and coming. They're big on TikTok, but they're trying to grow their YouTube platform. So big shout out to Cowboys Up podcast. If you guys got time, click on that channel and hit subscribe. Great content. They drop it every Tuesday after the Frisco report. So go hit those up. Go hit those guys up. But go ahead, OG. What were you saying? Oh, thank you, Cowboys kid. Thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Good talk,
And
bro.
and and,
Talk
and
good.
you see when people say I'm tired, you got to learn how to read behind the lines. It's like an old marriage with Lawrence and Dak Prescott. Y'all want to say that Lawrence is bitching and that he's like Dak Prescott, but you have to understand. Look, I am playing more than you. Okay, Dak, you are making more money than me. If we sign you to another extension, you're gonna be paid way more than me. So I am tired of your crap. I'm tired of you not getting there. And then you don't care. When you throw an interception, you don't care. You don't hold yourself accountable. You say, "Oh man, I play like at the press conference. I played like crap." I get you. You need to say, "Look, I think I might need to be out of here." Or don't come out and say nothing at all.
Right.
Walk to the locker room, and don't say nothing because you come out there and you make the fans you make everybody that likes you second guess you now. Everybody said, "Well, don't give him that money because he's getting paid the most." But then everybody said, "Well, Demarcus Lawrence said, man, I'm tired, man. You getting paid more than me, and then I'm on the field more than you. Nah, bro, this ain't gonna work. I'm sorry.
Cowboys
Maybe,
blog.
huh?
Where do you see? Welcome back, by the way. Where do you see Tank Lawrence at, brother? Do you think 10 million justifies what he does on the field?
10 million per year.
Yeah, because he took that pay cut and he's making 10 million a year.
Um,
Guaranteed.
at the pay cut, I mean, he's a rotational kind of guy right now, right? So uh, I think they're just holding on to him, man. They got to get somebody in here. They tried with Sam Williams. This guy's a knucklehead, so can't really rely on this dude because he's going to give you penalties. He's going to extend drives. He's going to put you behind the eight ball. Zimmer doesn't like dumb players, bro. This guy, Sam Williams, comes out here pulling the same BS. You'll be sitting on the pine, bro. So
I gotta agree with you on that.
I gotta find another edge in this draft or bring in another decent kind of rotational guy. You know that they love playing with these, you know, uh, these type of Fowlers, Benson Mayoa types, these kinds of guys that can come in for a year, give you, 4 sacks or so, something like that. That's their MO. That's what they're gonna do again this offseason. You know what I mean?
But
They might,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, I mean that's probably what they're going to do, because they have to know that they need another presence out there, another rusher. Lawrence isn't really bringing that pressure anymore. He's more of your run stuffing specialist who does have some rushing capabilities.
Mhm. For me, I really feel like I got to disagree with Danny Savage here. I don't. I get with he can't say he's tired. I'm 1,000% with you, Danny, on that. But with that pay cut, with what Tank brings in the run stopping game, I think he's the best run stopper in the National Football League. And me in fifth quarter, we debated a long time about, the sacks ain't there for that big contract that he got. But I'm like, you can't knock him when his motor is 100,000% every play. Like we will see him chase a guy 20 yards down the field and go make a tackle for his defense. Right. So if I can get Tank Lawrence for the cheap, which 10 million for what he does is really cheap. Let's just be real here. I'm okay with that because I know he might get a sack or two. He's not going to get a game changing sack, but I know I can depend on him in that run game.
No,
That's where
I
I'm
agree
at.
with you. I mean, we have no choice. We're looking at him and Sam as our edges.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately, I don't see. It's not a strong edge class in my opinion. So
Yes, it's pretty thin.
it's not a strong edge class at all. And I mean, I wish we can trade Sam Williams back to Dan Quinn, get a second round pick back from him since he wanted him so bad. Let's be honest, Dan Quinn was calling Sam Williams Micah 2.0. Oh, he's working him out. He's this and that. And not to badmouth the kid, but if you were to listen to Sam Williams pre-draft interviews, I don't know. I would have looked the other way. I would have got a little scared. You know what I'm trying to say? Just hearing him just doing his interviews. And I know I don't talk the greatest, but I think I would have got a little scared. And I had my doubts there. But he has the tools, but he just, like Joe was saying, he comes like in the worst times. He comes up with stupid plays, dumb penalties.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Zimmer can, light a fire under his ass, and what I'm trying to say. Maybe the light will come on from him. He has the talent, but so far he's done nothing. Darnold. I mean, he barely plays. He's playing special teams and even getting penalties on special teams. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. We'll see. It's just going to be. I think it's going to be a long year.
I think I'm with you right there, dude, about the long year. Just, I mean, we talked about it earlier. I don't want to beat a dead horse. It's just the question marks. How are they going to target this? I'm on the. I am like, okay, either restructure Dak, get the 20 million now, or let him play on the 60 million. Restructure Trayvon, restructure D-Law, release Michael Gallup. Like, there's ways you can get cap, and with the cap going up 30 million, definitely help. There's still 8 under the cap, but they can still get some money and go make some moves. I really think that linebacker over the cap. I really think that linebacker is going to be their biggest need, like Devin White. I really think they're going to target one of those Tampa Bay linebackers that's going to be on the market. I really feel that way.
I wouldn't even mind Bobby Wagner, to be honest with you. I mean, I believe he was all pro last year.
Oh, I can't rock with Wagner because of age.
Can you rock with Josie Jewell? Because that's
from Denver Broncos. Yeah, that was potentially one of the Cowboys' trade targets too, but I don't think they could really get it done. But Joel, I can rock with from Denver. He's young too.
I mean, to me, I think that's kind of more where they would look at that type of tier. You know what I mean? Oh, we're familiar with him. He was a 30 visit or whatever the hell it was. So I mean, they'll find a way to sell the free agents that they bring in here.
Yeah. No, they will.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We got a lot of questions. Not a lot of draft picks. Not a lot of money. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully tomorrow we'll see a lot of good guys. Tomorrow's the best day. It's the offensive line. That's where I think we're going to go to the heaviest. I think we have no choice. So I'm really hyped for tomorrow. You know what I'm trying to say? But knowing Dallas, they could go wide receiver. I mean, I could see them doing something crazy going wide receiver at the end of round one. I could see them doing something like,
yeah.
Well, let me ask the draft guys this. Yeah. Let's say your top 5 O-line's gone. Your top 5, the quarterbacks are gone. The O-line's gone. Like what's worst case scenario? Like, what position can they draft where a position is still available that could really help this team? It's hard for me to word it because the draft obviously isn't falling yet there. But okay, there's this stupid move when you could have had this guy, almost like Taco and TJ, right? Or Gavin Escobar with Travis Kelce was still available, but in positions, right? Like, there's still this position here. You guys take the floor.
If we get washed at offensive tackle and center at 24, in a perfect world, we got to trade back. All luck, probably Brock Bowers will be on the board at 24 this year. You know what I'm trying to say? That'll be all luck. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. What did Kincaid go? 24 last year also? So Brock Bowers might be on the board at 24. And let's be honest, Dallas has been trying to do the 2 tight end set like Gronk and Hernandez for the last 20 years. If Brock Bowers was on the board at 24, Dallas would do flip-flops. I mean, do backflips. I don't think I would go. I might go to Kid Robinson, the Missouri, who's edge, or you can slide him into D tackle. I don't think there's a first-round linebacker on the board, or if they just throw all in, trade back, or they go Trey Benson. He might sneak into the first round now, maybe with the 40 he ran today. I mean, I wouldn't like that, but we could do worse. There's a very distinct possibility the board will be washed on offensive tackle and center. There's a possibility, or maybe guard. At that point, I firmly believe 24, they'll be the number one guard on the board. Cooper Beebe will be on the board from Kansas. So do you switch then Tyler Smith to left tackle and slide Cooper Beebe in to left guard?
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe?
That probably would be the play if they did that, because like I said, Stephen Jones kind of low key dropping hints here, like, oh, Larry Allen, we moved him all around and this and that early in his career. You see the DC.com kind of pushing that too. Oh, Zach Martin didn't want to do it, but he was an older, already established player. But Tyler Smith's still early. He'll accept it. He'll do it. So they're already kind of dropping these kind of like little hints as far as like trying to set fans up for what they're thinking. You know what I mean? So I could see that happening. You know what I mean? Where they go guard, get the best available guard, and then pop out, Tyler Smith to left tackle. But looking at another position that the Cowboys could pull out the hat, could be a cornerback, could be somebody they look at. Al Harris is out there interviewing these guys on site, and I like what he's done with our secondary. You know what I mean? So I think he has a good grasp of what kind of player he wants. And I think the type of player that he likes is similar to what Zimmer likes. So I think that's a good marriage right there. Wide receiver, like Savage said, I think that would be one that I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, let's get CeeDee Lamb's cousin in here. Let's roll with that. The happy-go-lucky story. Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
Keon Coleman. So they love doing that kind of stuff, bro. I'm telling you, look for the storylines that's pulling at your hearts. And, this guy's recovering from this ACL. We're going to rebuild him and make him into some. They do it all the
I'm
time.
sorry to cut you off, but who's C.D. Lamb's cousin?
Keon Coleman,
Who do you play for?
Florida State receiver.
Oh, whoa.
He played 1 year at Florida State. He was a Michigan State transfer. He came over from Michigan State.
I do like him.
Joe, you put up a good point. If we get washed, a corner that will be there is Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama, because he showed up at the combine and they're like, listen, you got a broken bone in your foot. So he's going to be sidelined for the next 5 months.
There you go.
So he's going to
what?
There's that.
He'll be there. He'll be there at the end of round one. He'll be there at 24th. But a lot of guys are saying they see him more as a safety, though. Him transferring more to safety in the NFL, Kool-Aid McKinstry. So he's a possibility. That's a name to be aware of, too, at 24.
Yeah. You got some of those medical guys, like you said, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper DeJean, I think will be another one that they might be looking at, and he's coming back from that injury as well. So these are the kind of guys the Cowboys like, man.
Oh no. Oh no. What, so he didn't know he had a broke foot? So he went to the combine and they said, hey, Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Hey, Kool-Aid, you got a broke foot.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of guys, listen, unless they had an injury, I mean, they do MRIs, CAT scans on everybody, you know what I'm saying? Damone Clark didn't even know he had a bad neck until he went to the combine. But Dallas said, don't worry, we'll still draft you. We love linebackers with bad necks. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's one of our trades.
Ooh, here's a good question for the draft gurus. How far would Peyton Wilson have to slide for it to be a good choice?
In my world, fifth, sixth, I'll take Aaron Casey out of Indiana over Peyton Wilson. I'm sorry.
I would too, man.
So it's kind of like that Jabril Cox sweet spot.
Peyton Wilson is a safety. He has the build of a safety. Look at his ass. Look at his legs. He has a shallow build. He's not going to be able to bang inside the tackle box in the NFL. I'm sorry. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I've been wrong, but I'm right a lot more times than I'm wrong. He has a slender build. He doesn't have that big, jacked, strong run stopper. I don't want no part of him, because no. If I had a 7th round comp pick, there's other guys with a lot more higher upside than him, in my opinion.
Oh,
that's just my opinion on him. I would probably draft 8, 9 linebackers, 10 linebackers ahead of him. That's me. Hurt guys stay hurt.
That's true. That is true, though. That's very true. But no, guys. Hey, thank you everybody for coming on. We got to wrap this baby up. It's been an hour and over 30 minutes. But last words, OG. What do you got for last words, OG?
Um, what I got to say is, I hope everybody have a good weekend and enjoy your enjoy this little combine, but also look at the guys with good, all the DBs with good hip movement and that can catch the ball. And when they come up with the linebackers, y'all might want to record the combine, but the guys, some of the underclassmen are probably not going to show up in this combine. I don't know if they all together. Maybe they are. But the guys with the linebacker with the most tackles and the most physicals with great agilities, keep your eye on those guys. Maybe who you want to pick. You can come up to some shows and say, hey, these are the guys that I think that could be a good fit. D tackles too. Look for the guy with the good reps and we need some strong physical big guys and we need one wide receiver that's going to help Lamb. I'm sorry. Um, also, and because what's that boy name that you said that you didn't like, but I still will give him a chance to play wide receiver. Mac McNary, something like that. We was talking about. He played for Tennessee, he came over to Dallas from I think he came over from like
Oh yeah, the
a
practice
trade or
squad
something.
guy. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, practice squad guy. I want to see him out there this season. And uh, cook it. Running back, running back. I like the boy out of Michigan, but I'm not gonna get fooled by that because I'm still looking at good running backs. Somebody with some speed and that can the bench press. I want to see how strong you are on your bench press. Give me 225, 25 to 30 time reps. We're gonna see about that. These are the guys I'm looking for. But don't sleep on the offensive guards either, though. You know, one. Don't sleep on the offensive guards because all the tackles because we may need. I wouldn't be surprised if we go offensive tackle on the first round. I would hate to go there on the first round on the first day of the draft pick if we don't trade back into the second round. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to those guys that want to come up and tackle this season and not lazy to the ball. I'm looking for some headhunters and guys that want to earn their paycheck. I don't want lazy tacklers no more. I don't want to draft guys that are scared to hit. And um, one more position that must not neglect is safety position. I don't trust Kurt. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a damn good safety um, for that can take Hooker's spot. I don't trust Hooker back there. So you know, thank you guys for having me on. And it was great. It's great meeting everyone. You guys have a great night, and peace be unto you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, OG. A
Okay.
Freaking Friday OG member over there on Fifth Quarter Cowboys channel. Thanks for coming in. And he's also an OG for talking crazy on the corner of Crazy and Cowboys. Danny Savage, last words, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. I'm looking forward to tomorrow for the O-line for the combine. And love you guys, both you guys. Love your shows. And I'm looking forward to next Saturday. Hopefully we'll have some more information and we'll just take it. You got to take it day by day when you're a Dallas fan. You know what I'm saying? See what comes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? But
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate the chance. And love
Yep.
both the shows. Love your content. And I'm looking forward to next week's show. You can find me if I can shout out.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
You can find me Danny Savage on Facebook, and hopefully soon, real soon, I'll have my own thing out there. You know what I'm trying to say because it'll be Dallas content, but it'll be draft 365 days, 24/7 out of the year. So
That's gonna be a good channel.
that's me. It'll be like Friday nights for Saturday nights college games. Here's 5 guys to watch. For the guys that are really into it. I really look into what I think our needs are. But it was a pleasure meeting everybody, bro. You guys know I've been rocking with you for years. You say it like it is. A lot of other people don't. A lot of people are just clickbaiters, and you guys ain't. So I appreciate it. God bless
Appreciate you. Thank you, Danny.
Danny.
Hey, don't share your ideas on live, dude. There's some people that I ain't gonna say no names. Maybe if I'm mad, I will. But they'll steal your ideas, brother. They'll steal your shit.
No, I know. There's haters out. But yo, even Jesus had haters, man. Everyone
Yeah,
has
that's true.
haters.
But I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you so
Cowboys
much.
blog.
Pleasure.
Cowboys blog. I want to give a big shout out to Cowboys blog. So if you see that street sign up on the top right over there by Danny Savage, I try to edit it. I'm a horrible editor. Joe's my dude. I was like, Joe, please, can you? This will be so cool. Can you edit this for me? So that design right there was from Cowboys blog himself. That Crazy Cowboys. That's where we're in the corner of. So big shout out to Joe. But what's your last words, Joe?
Man, last words is what a great show, man. Good to see Danny on here. Put a face to the wisdom, man. Good guy, man.
Thank you.
So look forward to seeing him there rocking it out. Gave him the wrench of wrenches to Danny Savage, bro. Much respect to you, man. So, man, what a great show, man. We'll see what these guys do, and we'll just say we told you so.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, like so backstory. I know I shared this story on the first report, but I'll also share it here on Talking Crazy. So I have not been a DAC guy since 2018, 2019. And when that extension happened, I was still kind of new with Joe with doing the Frisco report, and we just streamed on his platform. So I wanted to be really respectful. So Joe let me vent. I was so pissed off, dude. I was like, we're going to fucking suck. These motherfuckers are stupid. I was just going off right here. And Joe was like, no, calm down. I was like, whoo, okay, let's go live. So a little bit behind the scenes there. I was not happy for that first extension. Just was not happy at all. But guys, this is Talking Crazy on the corner of Crazy and Cowboys, where I try to go live every Saturday night. If you're a Cowboys fan, click the link. Come in. Let's have a discussion. I won't blast you for it. Cowboy Nation, are you in the Cowboys corner? Peace.